Welcome to the Life Lego Built episode 6. My name is Rob. We have a special guest today. Some of you guys might know him from Instagram mostly. His name is Tucker's Bricks, and he's a very fun, entertaining kind of guy. If you've ever watched any of his reels or shorts on Instagram, you guys will know exactly what I mean. Had to get him on the show, and here he is. Building Lego,
Hi.
as you can hear.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Not too bad, dude.
Yeah,
It's been a good day. I can't complain, you know?
good, man. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
weekend. You can never complain about. Well, I mean, you can, but the weekends are the weekend, so you gotta have fun, no matter how bad it gets. It's the
That's
weekend,
right.
right?
Take some
Oh,
time, just cool down, a little bit.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um, it's good.
What is it you're building right now?
Right now, actually, I just opened it up, so it's perfect timing. I am building one of I don't know, dumb little set. I thought it was overpriced when it first came out,
Yeah.
but it's the newest of the
Ooh,
General Grievous
nice,
Starfighter. Okay.
dude.
So
Nice.
awesome little set. And I've honestly torn it apart and built it a couple of times just because I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's fun. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Do you do that a lot? And then like, what do you do with your pieces when you take it apart? Do you like have them all separated neatly, or do you just put it all in a big bag? How do you do that?
Yeah, so it's time consuming. I'll take the instruction booklet and I'll go backwards through the instruction booklet and I'll take everything apart piece by piece and then I'll put them back into a Ziploc bag and I'll number the
There you
bag
go.
as to what number it was. So that way it's at least a
Wow.
little more organized, but
That is a
it's
process.
it takes forever, but it makes it a little bit easier the next time I'm gonna build it at least. So
Right. No, that's for
yeah,
sure. And we don't have like all the room in the world, so we gotta, choose
yeah,
which Lego sets we're displaying for the year and what
exactly.
have you. So,
You win some, you lose
man.
some.
Yep, yep, for sure. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna get into the first question. But guys, before we do actually, just to kind of explain it, if it is your first episode, watching, or viewing, this is the Life Lego Built, whether you're on live or watching the replay. And I basically interview a fellow AFOL, a fellow adult fan of Lego, and we talk about Lego and where like when the whole journey began and where they are today and kind of how the Lego journey shaped them and how Lego shaped them really. And it's a fun way to get to know the community a little bit and get to know the people within the community a little bit. So that being said, let's get on with the first question, and that is, who is Tucker's Bricks?
Oof. I, geez, I guess like, what exactly you're wanting to know? Like me about like the Instagram handle itself, or like, are you just wanting to know who I am? I guess that's probably more
Yeah,
what you're
just
asking,
just
huh?
who are you? Yeah, talk about your Instagram a little bit. You don't have to talk about how they got started. That'll be another question, but just like, yeah, I'm Tucker's Bricks, or basically like for me, I'm Brick Artemis. I do YouTube, I do Instagram. Yeah, and then I like Lego. Whatever you want
Awesome.
to
Yeah,
say.
I mean, yeah, I'm Tucker. I'm I'm just an idiot with too much money and spends too much of it on Lego, so on little kids'
Yes.
plastic toys,
Yep.
It's yeah, I do just Instagram right now. I don't do YouTube or anything yet. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so that's I don't know. Anything else you want to know about it? I guess
No, man.
I don't
No,
know.
no, that's perfectly fine because we got a lot of questions. So sometimes like people answer them all, and I'm like, I know we just talked about this, but it's just a good start to just kind of go like, hey, I'm Tucker and I'm on Instagram, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
let's get into the deep questions though. Did you like Lego as a child, and do you recall the moment you fell in love with Lego? So like and love is a
I
little different. So you enjoy it, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can't live without it now.
yeah, so we grew up with Lego for Christmas and everything like that. My brother started the whole thing for sure. I remember I think his very first Lego set was the 2003 Star Wars ATTE set. Awesome little set,
Man,
really
that's cool.
cool. Um, I grew up with Mega Blocks first. Uh,
Okay.
because like I liked Power Rangers and stuff like that. Power Rangers and Pokemon, and Lego didn't have that obviously. So I wanted to get the Power Rangers Mega Blocks, the Pokemon Mega Blocks, stuff like that. And then eventually grew into the Lego probably around like I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. When I was young enough, it was more the Power Ranger stuff, and then I grew into the Star Wars stuff. Um, I would say that I probably grew to the point. Ooh, shucks. When did I really start to love Lego? Because
It's
yeah,
tough.
when I was a kid, we had a dresser that was full of Lego. And most of our sets were all destroyed, just put into pieces in the dresser, and we would just build whatever our hearts desired, obviously.
Sure.
I think that I finally started to learn to love Lego when I was, oh, it had to have been probably like 4 or 5 years ago or so. It was when they came out with the UCS Republic gunship. Um, it was, yeah, I went through a phase for a little while where I stopped buying stuff, but as soon as they came out with that set, that was that was one of my favorite ships growing up in Star Wars. And so as soon as they came out with that set, I was like, crap, that's expensive, but I gotta get it. I have to. It's awesome.
Right.
So it was
That
great.
that's
So
that's kind of how it is as like an adult, right? You play with these plastic toys or plastic bricks and put them together as kids, but then as you get older, I feel like a lot of people have like that dark age because they get into video games, movies, school, work, girls, whatever, boys.
you
Um
grow up a little bit, yeah.
yeah, yeah, you go through different stages in life and then all of a sudden like you see these like 400, 300, $800 Lego sets and you're like, "Oh, this is cool. This is for adults too? What?"
Yeah.
And
You
then
get this with adult money.
18 and up? What?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's then you start doing it and you start building and you're like, "Wow, this is actually very calming and like relaxing. Like it frees your head, your mind a little bit." So yeah, it definitely takes you to a new world. So, a new thought process. Before we get into the next question and continue on, I do want to kind of address the chat here. We Let me hide this comment first though. Um, let's see. Sorry about that. We have the movie canon. He says, "Hey, Brick, may not be able to watch live tonight, but we'll watch the replay. Have a great stream." Movie canon, thank you very much. Such a great guy in the community. He's a big movie guy, talks movies. I think his brother is actually very into Lego, and he's in
Wow.
more of the 1/6 community and movie community, but such a great guy. We got the Jedi Knights watch in the house. Wolfpack brother there. He says, "Was
What's
good."
good?
We got Prime Time Reviews. Yo, what's up? Thank you for coming here, Prime Time. We got Nick Bachman in the house. Hey. And D'Lo the Collector, another Wolfpack buddy of mine. Yo, keep
Come
on
on,
bricking.
Brickin'.
That is right. You got to keep bricking, man.
Right.
Man, let's go.
Don't gotta tell me
So,
twice.
right, as you're doing it now, right?
That's right, man. You
Yeah.
just send it.
Yep. See, I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine, and I have a hard time building while I'm like live or on like camera or something. And I don't know if it's like my brain, like I can't concentrate. Like if I was doing it now and I was like hosting, I wouldn't even know what question I asked last. Like I would be so focused. And even if I was by myself doing like a building stream, I I feel like I wouldn't really address the chat often. I would just be in my own head, and you know what I mean? So it's
That
hard
makes
for me.
sense.
So kudos to you and other people that can do this because I I can't. And
It's a
speaking
different kind of
of
skill.
yeah, it is. It is. Speaking of Dark Age though, which you briefly brought up, did you ever go through one? And if so, what got you back into Lego? I think
That
you
dark
kind of
age of
sort of
just
answered
kind of
that, but
having almost grown out of it, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I went through a little bit of a dark age for a minute. I don't even remember why. I'll tell you. I have kind of the worst memory ever. Ask my wife. It's terrible. Um, but like I went through a dark age for a little bit where I think I kind of just lost interest in Lego, I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think a big kicker for it too was that, like, especially in high school and everything, you grow up. I had a little almost like secret. I made a post about this actually. A secret. What's it called? I guess like almost an embarrassment to having this Lego collection.
Like
You
a
grow
guilty
up.
pleasure kind of thing.
Yeah, you grow up
Yeah.
thinking Lego is such a kid's toy, and then, especially when you're in high school where you care so much about people's opinions and such, you're like, I'm not going to tell anybody about this. And so
Yeah.
you kind of get to a point where you almost grow out of it, and you just,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that I kick myself in the butt for it all the time too. There's so
Yeah.
many sets. I look back on it, the couple of years span that I had stopped buying Lego for. I look at all the sets that came out during that time, and I'm just like, dude, there's so many
Man.
just good sets that you could have had, and it just kicks me in the
Same.
butt so much. But
It's
is what it
it's
is.
tough, man. Like missing out on so much, like so many castles and pirate
Yeah,
ships and, space sets and I mean Star Wars. I mean, there's tons of
yeah,
Star Wars. Yeah.
so many different themes out there, and it's insane to think of
Yep.
how much I just missed with that little bit of time. But
Right. Right. And now they're what, three times the price or more
oh, yeah, it
sometimes.
sucks.
Yep. It's nice to have that though, because like for me, I have such a huge backlog
Yeah.
and like I don't buy them. I don't really buy to invest, but part of me is like, oh, if I never open that up and I build this first, maybe by the time that retires, if it goes up $100, maybe I will sell it. Like, I think
Yeah.
that way, but I don't buy to sell. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, that makes sense.
What drove you to start your social media journey, to get on Instagram, to start that whole thing?
So that was actually a fun thing. I don't even remember exactly when I started. All I can remember for when I started was just, those days where you're just mindlessly scrolling through Instagram. This was for sure when I started getting back into Lego. As I said earlier, the UCS gunship is what really got me back into it.
Yeah,
And so once I bought that, all of a sudden everything opened up. My Instagram was just full of Lego feed, everything like that. Um, I, geez, yeah, I was just watching everything. All of a sudden, like, especially with Star Wars stuff, it's insane that to think how deep I've gotten into it since then. Is that it just I can see certain Star Wars sets and pretty much know, okay, that sold for this much back then, and it's worth this
yeah.
much now. And
Wow.
it's I don't know, it's just random crap like that. It doesn't even have to pertain to anything. And it's the biggest thing that got me into doing my Instagram was I saw some people with pages, and some of the pages I looked at where I'm like, these people have a lot of followers, and I've got more sets than they do. Like, why am I not
I
doing something with
have
this?
more
And I'm like,
sets. I have more
freaking,
knowledge.
yeah, I was like, freaking, let's
Yeah,
just do this. Like, why not? And
yeah,
it took me a while to finally put my face into the videos and stuff. That's what it was. I started it. I didn't have my face in it for a while. I just didn't have the right groove for anything. And then I finally kicked myself in the butt, put myself in the first video, and then took off from there.
there you go.
It when I first started to when I first started actually being serious with it, I started it and did like 4 or 5 posts, and then probably it maybe even like a year span of time before I really actually made other posts and just kicked it up with it. And it was a good little gap.
Yeah.
But
So do you find putting your face in your content helps a lot more?
for
Like,
me, it's a lot better. Um,
okay.
it's that first step that's hard, obviously.
Yeah.
But after that, and it also helps when I hate saying this because it makes me feel almost cocky. So don't take this the wrong way.
No,
But like
it's fine,
once
man.
once you get like a little bit of a fan base, then you're
Yep.
like oh, I can do whatever the crap I want now, and it's just for fun now at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's just one fan that I have, as long as I'm making posts just to make this person happy, I'm happy as crap with it, and I
Yeah.
don't even care what the post includes anymore. If it's a little
You got
embarrassing,
your one
it
like,
is.
man. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy as heck,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? So,
for sure.
yeah,
For sure. No, I
it's a
love
lot
that,
more
man.
fun.
Like I love that journey and what got you here today. Um so that being said, would you ever consider going into YouTube? Kind of branch out a
I
little bit?
I've thought about it a couple of times. My wife and I, we've talked about it a lot actually too. I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to be doing it, just because they think it would be fun for me to do it. I don't know anything about the YouTube stuff. I've tried to do a couple of things with like video game streaming and stuff on YouTube, but it just didn't
Okay.
really, I don't know, maybe I just didn't try it out long enough, and so I just never really knew what I was doing, you know, and that could be a huge part of
Yeah.
it. Um, but I think that I just didn't do it for the longest time, and I think that a big thing, I I'm rambling. I do want
You're
to.
good.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that's stopping me from doing it is that I'm constantly like, I just don't know what exactly I would do it for. I just don't know exactly. Like, I still would want it to be Lego, but I just don't want it to be like okay, copy it from my Instagram and post it to my
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
You know, I want the YouTube to be something even a little bit separate, you know, where like you get this kind of content on YouTube, you get this kind of content on Instagram, you get a bit of both in each place, but they're
Yeah.
mostly separate. And so I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with it, but
Yeah.
I don't know,
And it's
maybe
so
one of these
hard, right?
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hard because you like I came in and there's just so many different channels out there to begin with. So
Yeah.
you're almost afraid to like copy people or do something even similar to that or anything like that and kind of make it your own, you know? Um
Yeah.
yeah, man. Let's check in with the chat here real quick. We got Loco Lou. What's poppin', people? Hey man, thanks for stopping by. What is poppin'? Um, yeah, he also says there's a lot of Lego sets that he needs to find. So which ones are you
Yeah.
looking for? Are there any specific ones that you're kind of looking out for? Jedi saying, what is up? All right. He's off from work. Nice, nice.
Love it.
Um, yeah, man. Let's see. What makes Lego special for you? So we talked about like when you fell in love. I guess this is more like why. Like why does it make it so special for you?
It's shucks. I think what makes it so special for me? That's a good freaking question. Why do I freaking like Lego so much? Um,
Question of the day. What
I
am I
know,
doing?
right? Like, dude, you just gave me an existential crisis, right? Um, no. Uh, I think that a big thing for me is that it does just give me some good time to just sit down, relax, not worry about nothing, and like I can just yeah, I mean for that good like hour or two that I'm building, you know, I don't have to really worry about anything going on in life. I literally I can just forget about everything else. I can
Sure.
just play some music, play a podcast, play whatever I want, and just it's a good time for me to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, I think another big thing is that it just takes me back to when I was a kid. Again, my brother and I, we would one of the biggest things that we would do. So we collected Star Wars for the most part, and so one thing we would do is we would take all the pieces that were in these bins and we would each build a base. And we would have these Star Wars Lego
That's cool.
wars together. I was always the clones and he was always the droids. And so it was always fun to like get a new set. Like for example, I would get a set that was like a droid specific set and Clayton and I, my brother Clayton,
Yeah.
he and I would both look at it and be like, "Oh, like it was my set, but I would almost consider it his because he was going to be using
He
it
had
more
the
than I would."
droids.
And it was just fun. Yeah,
Yep.
it was just fun. I think it takes me back, um, and it's just yeah. I think a lot of it is just what's that word? That it just takes you back to the day kind of thing. There's a
The like
certain word for that.
nostalgia?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
nostalgic, you know, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's fun to go back and just kind of relax on it, especially when you rebuild a set that's like older that you really grew
Yeah,
up with,
man.
that you remember getting for Christmas or something, and you're just like, oh, this was such a good set. I can't wait to build it, and stuff like that.
Yep.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
super
That's
fun.
awesome that you like actually put them in their separate bags. Bag them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
That's so cool. But man, that would take almost longer than building it itself. But for
it
me, it's
takes
like,
forever.
yeah, man, like you don't even have to worry about when you're building because you can play a game. You can make a video for your YouTube channel. You can have your time to yourself, but you're never stressed when you're building Lego because you're not gonna get it wrong. Unless you can't find the fricking piece, right? Like, where is it?
Still in the
You
bag,
know?
of course.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, like, there's no reason to stress. You're thinking, while you're
Yeah,
building these sets, and it really helps out a lot with that kind of stuff, and it's fun. Single songwriter is in the house. My good sir, thank you for being here. It means a lot, coming into the Lego community here. Communicating with subscribers and fans of live stream, it helps grow the followers. That's for sure.
awesome.
That's for sure. We got Nick Bachman leaving. He says he's gonna go. I'm guessing he's going to the gym. Good choice
Get
for
swole,
the
brother.
guest. Yeah, get swole. Get swole. Loco Lou says TMNT sets. I believe it's under the name Mega Blocks. Also the Spider-Man and Daily Bugle build.
Yeah,
I think Lego actually does have some TMNT as well. I think it's more
they
so
do.
from the Michael Bay movies, right? I've
I
seen those
don't.
sets.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
exactly when they got like the licensing for it, but yeah, they've got a couple of
yeah.
Ninja
Yeah,
Turtle ones.
like some sewers and stuff like that, but they're pretty hard to find and they're expensive. I hope, crossing my
Yeah,
fingers, that we get some more TMNT because I love Ninja Turtles, man.
awesome
Absolutely
stuff.
love them. I haven't even, and I love them so much. I haven't even gotten the minifigures yet because I know they have
Yeah,
minifigures. Like they're in the Lego movie, but
right.
I see them, but I just haven't gotten any of them. I'll have to though. Next question. Can you tell a story of one of your most memorable Lego moments? Now, I know you kind of talked about playing with your brother, and that's pretty memorable. And if that's like the one, we can move on to the next question. But if you have another one,
No, and honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things for sure is those moments where I got to just play with the Lego with my brother a lot. Another thing for sure too, I'll never forget this. Dumb little thing. I I'm trying to think now even. I think this is the only time that I can really remember going and buying Lego back when I was younger is that I remember my mom she saw this ad on a Toys R Us catalog saying that all that Lego was 50% off. And so
wow,
I had all this money saved up for Lego and I'm like, "Okay, awesome. We're going to go in." And my mom, bless her heart, she was the nicest person in the world. I would do the math pretty much, I didn't take into account tax or anything like that. But I was just like, okay, I've got this much money saved up. We're going to get all of these sets to add up to that much. And my mom was like, cool, I'll pay whatever the tax is, but as long as you're paying the
wow,
bulk of it, awesome. And so we went in and I loaded the cart full of all these Star Wars sets. I think I had like 7 or 8 sets in there. I'd been saving my money for a while now, right, for all this stuff. And so had this cart full of Lego sets. We get to the counter and then we found out that the 50% off was only for certain themes. And
oh
Star Wars
no,
was not one of them, of course.
of course, right?
Exactly,
Uh,
always. It's the themes that don't sell well that go on sale.
right.
But it was it was one of those things where like it was such a bummer, it was like, oh crap, but it was such a dumb fun little thing. I don't know why I'll never forget that one. It was just I think it was just so fun to be able to go get all this stuff and then find out that I couldn't get all of that, and so it was
Yep.
just like I think that's the first time that I was like, okay, now I've really got to pick and choose. What do I really want to get right now?
Yeah.
That
Yep.
same feeling whenever you go to the Lego store and you're just like, hey, I have to get one thing. Now, what's the one thing gonna be? But
Right. Then you're
yeah,
stuck with Harry Potter, and you're like, ah.
exactly. Yeah, you get home and
I
you're like,
know.
did I
Well, I
make the
guess I'm
right
getting this.
choice?
Nothing against Harry Potter. I like Lego Harry Potter, but yeah.
I like it.
No, man, good story. I love stuff
Yeah.
like that. Do you remember the last Lego set you purchased? Should remember, maybe.
The last set that I purchased, ooh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Last set that I purchased, Kay, are we talking brand new or used?
It doesn't matter.
Or just
Doesn't
anything?
matter. or
Okay,
both. Yeah.
so the last thing that I bought was actually these two right here. They came in a pack. Just this kid was selling his sets, and so one of them here is the it's Darth Maul with a Death
Ooh,
Watch speeder little thing.
nice.
Okay, it's just a fun little set, and then the
Okay.
TIE Interceptor
Oh yeah,
prototype. So
that's a
it's a
cool set.
fun one.
Yeah.
These were also two sets that went on sale back in my my dark times.
Yep.
And so I missed out on those. So I'm happy to have those now finally. There were those.
So, well,
Yeah.
you seem not to cut you off, but you seem like a very big Star Wars fan.
Oh,
Okay, so
100%.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you more prequels, OT, sequels? Probably not. But are you like what? Are you more like the OT or the prequels?
Oof. I think I'm more prequels because for
Okay.
me, and that's the thing too, is that I would take even Clone Wars over prequels. I'm a
Wow.
huge Clone Wars fan. Anything Clone Wars, I'm do or die kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I love I love clones. Just clones in general is where I'm at. Like so for the Star Wars sets, they've got a lot of the helmets if you've seen those, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never bothered buying any of them, but when once they came out with the clone helmets of Rex and Cody, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them. I
Got to
have
do
to.
it now.
It's 100%.
uh,
And so I've considered even like someday going into mocks with different clone helmets
oh, that would be
off of
cool,
those
man.
designs, something like that. But yeah, it's all Clone Wars for me for sure. Anything Clone Wars, I'm 100%
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
But
What's your I haven't seen I haven't really seen the Clone Wars. I've seen clips. I've watched a little bit of Rebels. I
yeah,
think I watched the first couple seasons of that. Watched Ahsoka. I watch a lot of the new stuff now. But yeah, Clone Wars I just never really watched a lot of. I know that the episodes don't really come out chronologically and you got to kind of there's like an order. I
yeah.
will eventually do it, but yeah,
You'll get
I
there.
think I'm it depends on the day. Like sometimes I'm more prequel, sometimes I'm more OT. Um, but yeah, there's something about Phantom Menace for me. And I don't know if that's because I saw it in theater and
Oh,
I was a
jealous.
kid and Anakin was a kid and Jar Jar, like when you're a kid, Jar Jar is funny. And then you grow up to learn, no, he's weird and it's a dumb character. It's like, but no, he's funny. Like, you know what I
He's
mean?
annoying.
Um,
Everyone hates
he
him.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he is annoying in the second movie, I think, but
Yeah,
the first movie, he's like classic. Like it's so fun. But yeah, Phantom Menace, man, something about that movie that I just love. But
great movie.
anything else you want to talk about the last purchase
Last
since I
purchase
cut you
wise, I
off?
guess no, you're totally fine. Yeah, yeah. I guess just yeah, that was my last purchase of those. That was like my literal last purchase on Lego sets. Um, I mean, I'm looking at my last like new in box set I bought, and then I've got this other. My biggest project that I'm working on right now is I bought an 80-pound tote of Lego, and I'm still going through sorting the entire thing.
Oh
It's
man,
it's taken me
80
weeks, if not
pounds.
months. 80 pounds. It's been insane.
Are you gonna do some mock builds or what are you gonna do?
It's I so yeah, my wife and I wanted to try the
You're gonna build a 1-to-1 scale house or what?
yeah, there you go, right? The only way I can afford a house these days.
Yeah, right.
Um, I wanted to try out the whole like buying stuff like that, going through it and selling kind of what I can and see kind of what the profit margins would look like. Um, and I've been learning slowly that it's really hard to do that because I get these sets and I'm like, oh, these are cool. If I can, I'm gonna keep this. And then
Yeah.
I end up just keeping most of it. And so I lose my profits. Um, but it's still fun. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with it. It's still kind of just a it's a work in progress. We'll see what happens with it. I'm not I don't know. I've been trying to do some of the math in my head and I think that it's not worth as much time as I'm putting into it. It's still
Yeah,
fun, but if I ever do it again, it'll probably be more to keep the sets, not to sell the sets.
sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
But
Speaking of your wife, because you bring her up a lot, which is phenomenal. It's awesome.
yeah.
Um, does your family share your passion for Lego?
So my wife really fun. She's not nearly as much into Lego as I am. Like Oh shucks. When we first met, pretty much within like the first week, I had a couple of sets that were torn apart. Of course, just my sets that I've been putting in the closets and stuff like that. And we did a little Lego date night where I had one set, she had another, and we were just like, all right, cool, let's just build and hang out. Let's just talk.
Hmm.
And this was again like right as soon as we had met. We really kicked things off pretty quick, but she still hasn't finished that set, and that was I mean, that was sometime last year even. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
It She still hasn't finished the set. I'm looking at it right now. It's half built. I've given her the Office Lego set because she loves The Office, and so I was like, yeah, maybe this one she'll be a little
Yeah.
more
So
into.
that would like
And
get her into it and be yeah.
still, it's just not her thing. And to each their own. I love her the same every single day. If she doesn't like Lego, that's totally fine with me. But we don't have kids yet, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do when we do have kids, because a lot of these I don't want kids playing with, but I
Right.
feel like I gotta let them because they gotta have that childhood. But we'll see
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just get another 80-pound
Yeah,
box of bricks.
exactly.
Let them play with
That
that.
that's probably what I'll
Um.
do.
There you go. But no, that's cool, man. I don't have the Office set, but I do have the Friend sets. But yeah,
Yeah,
the Office set looks really cool, man. They have a lot of like Easter eggs in there and cool minifigures and
tons.
and whatnot.
Super
So
fun.
it's a cool set. Next question: what are 3 Lego dream sets you want to add to your collection? So Lego sets that are out now that you can get. They can also be like older sets that you can't get on
Okay.
in the store, but just anything that Lego has released.
Okay. Two of them I know for sure. A third, that's gonna be a hard one. I've always known two. One of them would be there was a set that came out back in, what was it? It was either 2001 or 1999. It was the Lego Rebel Blockade Runner. It was, I don't know if you've heard of it's A New Hope, the Tantive.
Hmm.
It's the little red and white ship that the Star Destroyer is chasing in the very, very
Okay.
beginning of A New Hope, right?
Wow.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it was that set, and it's just an old set. It's a UCS set. It's a collector series. Um it's nothing incredible. Like, I mean, older sets, obviously, we know older sets don't have nearly as much detail as newer ones do. And so it is missing a little bit of the detail as like newer UCS sets have. So I don't know
Yeah.
necessarily why I want it. I think that one of the big things is that I remember still seeing that in Lego catalogs and being like, that's a cool set. I want that. And
Brings back
obviously I
that
just never got
nostalgia.
it. Yeah, and so
Yep.
I'm just like, I want that because it's cool. Um, Another set. Okay, I know my third now. Another set that I really want is you've probably, I don't know, I don't know, I'm assuming there's the ATOP, something like that. It's the drop ship. It's
Oh yeah.
a
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a gunship drop ship with like an
Yep.
ATTE that has 8 legs. Yeah, awesome set. I want that one more than anything. It's
That's
another set
cool.
that I remember when we took a trip to Disney World when I was younger. We went to the Lego store that they had there, and I saw it on the shelf. And I remember talking to my brother about it all the time because I think back then it was only 250 bucks
Uh,
to buy it brand spanking new. And I looked at it where I'm like, $250. That's way too much. I can't buy a Lego set for $250. And um, I mean, I'll buy two sets that are 150 bucks each, but I can't buy one set that's $250. That's
right.
insane. Um, but yeah, now I look at it, I think it's like $1,200 for it to still be brand new. I hate it so much. I wish that I could have gotten that set when
Man.
it came out. And
Man.
then the third one would be, I think, the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, crap. Or the Death Star. There's an old Death Star
Oh,
from like 2003
the
too.
Death Star would be nice.
Yeah,
I don't have
those two
any of the Death
sets.
Stars. Yeah.
Neither do I. I've
Yeah.
never gotten one.
Either one would be awesome. And every time I know this is like kind of dumb, but every time I think of the Lego Death Star, I think of Spider-Man Homecoming
Yeah.
when like
Oh,
his
always.
friend is building it and it's just like and drops it. I every time. We
Oh
do
yeah.
have the movie canon is back watching, so thank you, good sir. Thanks for coming back.
Awesome.
Are you
Brick and build.
building or just bricking and building? You know, just to say it. Are you
Yeah,
building
there you
anything?
go.
Let us know in the comments. But
Love it.
yeah, those are three great sets. That
Yeah,
is
awesome ones.
that's gonna answer this question. Do
Oh,
you have a
sweet.
favorite Lego set or Lego theme? So I know it's Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite Lego set from Star Wars? I guess we'll go with that question.
Yeah, so I've got those sets that I really want, that I just don't have yet. Of course, everyone's got that. Whether they would or not be my favorite, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have them yet. But of all the
Yeah.
sets that I have currently, I'll tell you that one at least. Of all the sets that I currently have, my favorite, it's probably still the gunship. Honestly, I've got sets that are way bigger than that gunship. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not my biggest set by all means. It's not my most expensive set, but I think the fact that first off, that was the set that got me back into Lego. Second, it was again, that was the first set that like once it came out, it was frick, I've got to get that. I'm saving up to
Yeah.
get that set. I have to. It was the set that I always loved growing up, and so I have to get that one. No doubt in my mind I'm gonna get it. And third, it's just I think just the build itself was awesome. The build was fun, there was detail in it, everything just goes together really smoothly, nothing was
Man.
frustrating about it. Awesome build.
You're making me want to
So,
get it, man. You're selling
so
it.
cool. Awesome set. Love it
That
to
see that
death.
the same thing happened to me, but with something so random. So I was into Lego as a kid, and then I had kids, and they kept wanting me to buy them Lego sets. And I kind of didn't like doing it because I would always have to build it, and then they would just destroy it, and it would go to waste.
Yeah.
Um, and so all of a sudden, I was watching Lego videos with my oldest, and I saw that they had a Home Alone set. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay. I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get this. And I begged my wife. I was like, please let me get this. Let it, I don't want it for Christmas. I want to build it before Christmas, with the kids or just even, family by myself, whatever. And that was like one of the most fun times I've ever had with Lego ever. And ever since then, I just
That's
went all
great.
out.
You're
But
hooked.
yeah, man, there was just something about that. But I do have the Razor Crest, the
Oh
UCS
yeah.
Razor Crest, and I have not built it yet. I need to build that. I got that in the Lion Knight's Castle during those the Black Friday sales. Um,
Nice.
so I need to build the Razor Crest, but I'm working on Hogwarts Castle and grounds and the almost said Polar Express, the Hogwarts Express, the collector's
Nice.
edition. So I'm working on those two first, and then I'm gonna go into the Razor Crest or the Lion Knight's
That's
Castle.
awesome.
I don't know which one I'm gonna do first, but talking
That's
Star
awesome.
Wars with you makes me want to get that Razor Crest done. Um,
Yes, you have to.
yeah. Guys, if you are just joining in, this is the Life Lego Built. We are talking with Tucker's Bricks from Instagram, having a good time talking about Lego. Make sure to hit that like button. Ask any questions away, Lego related or anything really, Star Wars related, and we will get to those comments. All right. So here is, well, I'm going to ask this question first. Would you rather build solo or with someone else?
Okay, are we each building our own set or are we both building the same set?
Each building your own.
Okay, that I'm totally fine with. Yeah, shucks, but yeah, what would I rather do? Because they both got their pros and cons. Because like when you build with someone, yeah, you can talk to them and such like that, but it's like I like having that fun little like being with them, hanging out with them and such like that. But I like being on my own where it's just
Yeah,
me. It's just me doing my thing. I don't have to worry about nothing going on anywhere else. It's just, and not, I mean, that's the thing too, is that if I were building with someone else, not that I would be worried about anything else going on. I think it's just that I like just doing my own thing and just being with myself, I guess, if that makes sense.
for sure.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I, I've never built the same set with one person. And I don't know how people do that. I can only imagine it would be miserable
That's
because like you're
tough,
on the same
man.
page at the same time. So I just don't
Yeah.
know how people do it. But
The
more power
the
to you
only
if you
way that
figure it
I
out.
yeah, that's tough, but the only way that I could see someone being able to do that, I think the Titanic has 3 separate books,
Yeah,
and so, like, you do different sections, so that would work, but man, like, most of Lego, like, even if there's 2 books, most of Lego is, like, you have to be on the same page.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't just skip
it's tough.
ahead. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Uh,
Some people
let's see.
figure it out. So
Yeah, yep. Some people. But Nick says, build. I
always
thought you were working out, man, but thanks for coming back. building building same
doing a bit
set
of both.
together is such a hassle, always getting in my way. Yeah, and I think
Get it?
you're building the UCS Millennium Falcon right now, right, Nick?
Heck
If I remember
yes.
correctly. That's a awesome set. I know he had some trouble with the UCS what is it? The X-Wing.
Oh
And
really?
yeah, he said it was like flimsy, and every time he would like try to connect a
Mm,
certain spot, like on the wing or something, it would just like fall apart, and he could never get it. So I think he started over and did what you do, like put them all separate all the pieces and
right.
organize all that. And then by the time he was done with that, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not building this, and I'm gonna move on to the UCS Millennium Falcon." But um, Jedi says, keep pumping, Nick." It's
Get
funny.
through it.
You guys are hilarious.
It's awesome.
Um, let's see here. I got a good question here. This is one of my favorite questions to ask because it brings our imagination and our, you know, thoughts to life. Um, is there a Lego set you wish Lego would release?
Shucks. I mean, if you had asked me this a couple of months earlier, I probably would have said a Venator, but they just came out with that one. Yeah.
You have that?
Um,
Do you have that set by chance?
I do actually. Yeah, it's I was happy to get that one. That's another one of those sets where Clone Wars, I'm like, I'm gonna get it. It
Yeah.
is what it is. It's a big hole in my wallet, but unfortunately, I have to. And
Yep. Hey man, money doesn't go with you when you die, so
that's right. Make it
yeah.
last.
Yep.
Um, a set that I wish Lego would build. You know, and that's the dumb thing is that if I was watching Star Wars right now, yeah, I could probably come up with things and be like, oh yeah, I wish they would build that. Um, a set that I wish they would build. And that's the thing is that there's some things that I do wish that they would do, but I understand that they can't necessarily just because of like piece count and price of what it would all be. Is that it's like it's
Right.
unrealistic. Like I wish that they would build like a UCS turbo tank. I think that would be cool as crap. I know some
Yeah.
people that build like scale turbo tanks and they're massive. They're
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
When
So
I've
there's
seen some
some
really cool stuff like at Brick World and like,
yeah,
you know, you see these huge dioramas and like just stage pieces basically. It's like, wow,
insane.
it's crazy.
They're they're crazy. Um, you know, I okay, a Lego set you wish Lego would release. Shucks.
Do
Um,
they have the council room? Is that what it's called? What is that? Like where they all
yeah, like the
you're
Jedi
more Star Wars.
Council. They
Yeah, do
don't
they I
have that yet.
because that would be
I
like a
wish.
cool obviously you don't want that with minifigures because it's gonna be humongous, right? I mean, we want it,
Right.
but like if they had like a smaller like they have their dioramas, right? Like with the smaller sets, and then it kind of just has like that
Yeah.
backdrop. You kind of see half of it or something. That'd be kind of cool. People would want that.
Yeah. Like that
But
pyramid set.
yeah, yeah.
That would
Or
be a
even
cool
like
one.
the full like we see is it Bricker builds? They have the
Yeah.
lightsabers. Like if
Yep.
Lego actually did like the actual lightsaber that you could buy from them
I,
and do.
that's I think that's the other thing actually too. So I've got oh this one right here. Sorry. There's this set that was a gift with purchase.
Nice.
It was Anakin. They call it
Yes.
Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, but I'm like, come on, it's Anakin's. Sorry, that's my 2 cents. But I do wish that they would release like because they've done Yoda's and they've done Luke's now. So they've done two lightsabers and they're very designed to look like that specific lightsaber. I
Yeah.
wish that they would release even if it was just lightsaber hilts. I wish that they
Yeah.
would release
More
just
of
the
them.
hilts. Yeah, just to
Yeah.
be really detailed, life-size hilts of what it would be
Like
in
a
like I think that would
UCS
be cool as
hilt.
crap. Yes, I think that'd be
That'd be
so
cool.
cool. But
Yep.
yeah,
Like a
I think
two
that would be fun.
pack. You know, like a two pack
Yeah,
of Qui-Gon and Anakin, or Anakin and not Qui-Gon and
yeah,
Anakin, Obi-Wan and Anakin, or something
that'd
like
be
that. That'd be
perfect.
cool.
That'd be way fun.
Um,
I think that'd be cool.
man, that would be cool. Nick says he's kind of pushing that Millennium Falcon off low key, but need to get back to it. Yeah, man, get back to it. It's gonna look awesome when it's
Awesome
done.
build.
You need to get one one of those coffee tables, those glass coffee tables. I think they look
There you go.
awesome inside of those.
Underneath it, yeah,
Yeah, man.
those are awesome. Awesome
So
little
cool.
setups.
Do you happen to invest in Lego at all? Or do you buy them, build them? Do you
Yeah,
have a
that's
backlog?
I guess I have a little bit of a backlog. I guess what I would consider my backlog is the sets that I take apart to just kind of put in storage for now.
Yeah,
Usually if I buy a set, I'm gonna build it right then and there. I don't wait on it. I'm pretty quick with it. Luckily, I'm young enough that I have the time for it, so I can kind of do that kind of
sure.
stuff. Um, I and that's another thing too. I've thought about the investing thing. I think that Lego investing is that's that's the long-term game for sure. Like you've got to be dedicated for it because like I think obviously I think about it. If I had started getting into it 10 years ago, frick, I'd have so much money for Lego right now.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah, I think about one set in specific that when it first came out, it was $25 and it's worth $200 now. And so I'm just like,
Yeah,
if I had
that's
bought like 12 of those, oh frick, ton of money.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think about it a lot, but I don't think that I'll ever get into it just because I doubt myself a lot, and so I think that if I did get into it, I'd be like, man, if I'm gonna buy this, it's not gonna go up in value, even though I know it will, but I'm just
Yeah,
like, I think in the end it just almost isn't worth it. A lot of people are getting more and more into it, so I feel like more people do it, and
sure.
I don't know, it's just not my thing, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, I kind of agree with you too. It is interesting looking into it and kind of learning about it a little bit, but I just I don't really have the money to with these two hobbies to really start that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
if I'm gonna buy a
Like
set, it's gonna be for me, you
right.
know.
Do I want to buy four $25 sets right now and put, 3 of them to the side and or even 8 of them and put 7 of them to the side? And or do I want to buy like a $200 set and build it and have fun? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 'Cause that's what Lego's about. But to each
Yeah.
their own, of course.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'll never like rag on somebody for doing it, Like
Yeah,
if that's what
for sure.
you like doing, you do you, dude. Like more power
Yeah,
to you, but it's just not
yeah.
my thing.
Right. Are there I'm sure there are. This is a dumb question, but people who just invest and don't even build, they just buy them and put them on shelves and
I can only imagine that there are. I
yeah,
mean like so I'll get on Facebook Marketplace and like I'll see there's certain people that I'll see that I'm just like I don't even look at their posts anymore just because I'm like I know who you are. You're always
yeah,
posting a Lego set on here. I'm like
yep,
I yeah. So I know that there probably are some people like that, but and like again, to each their own, but I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
yep,
I
yep.
do it for the fun.
Yeah, man, for sure. You have to. Um,
But
so UCS sets real quick before I get to the next question. Do you have a lot of them by chance?
I've got a few. I started getting into the UCS sets when the gunship came out. So I've got the gunship, the AT-AT, the Star Destroyer, the Falcon, and the Venator. I still need to get Luke's Land Speeder, Luke's
Okay.
X-Wing, the Razor Crest. I hope I'm not missing anything right now. I think that's all I need for the Star Wars ones. There's a bunch of old ones, obviously, that I'd love to get as
Yeah.
well, but
And
those
I
are
had
maybe someday.
yeah, I had that land speeder.
Oh
I
yeah,
bought it off of eBay, and it was only one of maybe 2 times that I had an issue with eBay, and I got a really good deal. I think it goes for what, 240, right?
yeah,
Something like that. I think I got it for like 160 or
yeah,
150 or something like that. But the box was damaged. But I was like, oh, whatever. And
yeah.
it said it was shipped and everything, and I waited forever for that. And the guy that sold it to
Man,
me was kind of, you know, MIA. And
yeah,
luckily, I got my money back. But it was like, I was so close. Like I got so excited that I got a good deal on it and all of
that
that.
would
But
be awesome.
the reason I asked that question for you is because I'm trying to figure out like I really want the AT-AT,
Yeah,
but if I'm gonna spend $850, which isn't going to be today or tomorrow. But if I do get one of these big sets, which one do I get? The Millennium
Oof.
Falcon or the AT-AT?
The AT-AT was another set that when it came out, it was one of those again, just like the um, freaking gunship. It was just like that, where as soon as it came out, I was like, I have to get this. We're gonna get
Yeah,
it. It's for sure. It it's awesome. It, I love the fact that it's to scale and that it's actually like minifigure scale. So the minifigures are the actual size that they would be comparable to an AT-AT.
that's
It's really
awesome.
cool. Um, awesome build. I shoot, dude. I might. For me, it might be sixes on whether I would like the AT-AT or Millennium Falcon more. Cause I mean, shoot, man. Both fantastic sets. I would probably go with the AT-AT though, I think, just because
Okay.
it's
So I'm not crazy.
no.
Because you know how everybody talks about the Falcon, like I love
Yeah.
that, and I guess it's probably more of a staple in Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
But my favorite Star Wars movie is The Empire Strikes Back,
Oh
and
yeah.
I love that scene. Like that's probably one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars. So that AT-AT has been on my bucket list basically to to purchase. But I've had so many chances, but like I could have gotten the AT-AT, but I chose to get these deals and get the Lion Knight's Castle and the Razor Crest at the same day. You know what I mean? Like things
That's a
like
good
that.
setup. I like that. I
Yeah.
respect that. So,
Yeah, I needed the Lion Knight's Castle before like whenever it retires or whatever because
right.
I needed to have one. And I actually have a quick story. I know this you're the star of the show right now, but I have
Please.
this quick
No. Yeah.
story and I felt really bad. And I want your take on this. Like, what would you have done? Okay, so I bought these two sets, and the Lion Knight's Castle was um like back ordered or whatever, but I could still purchase it during this time
Right.
for the deal. And so I did, and I had to wait like 2 or 3 months, but I was like, "Whatever, I'm not gonna build it now anyways, like, I got the good deal, I'll wait 2 or 3 months." And all of a sudden, like, 3 weeks later, it comes back up as available, like, you could purchase it now, it's not back ordered. So, I'm like, "Okay, so are they gonna ship mine? Are they" like
Yeah.
because I bought mine while being back ordered, and mine still said, like, February or March or whatever it was.
Jeez.
So I call them, very nice lady over the phone. Like, "Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll basically redo the order and we'll send yours out right away." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So this all happened and I ended up getting 2 Lion Knights castles.
Ooh.
And I felt bad, but I'm like, I'm not going to like send it back. You know what I mean? Like
Ah.
I'm not going to like make I wanted to. If I bought it at the store and something happened to where I got 2 or like I didn't spend like a certain amount of money for this set. I think I would have gone back in, but because it was online and the shipping and
Yeah.
all this anyways, I was like, "Ah, okay." So I sold it to my local like Lego, my local brick shop basically.
Yeah.
He got a really good deal on it. He's able to make some money on it. I got some money back. So really I got this Lion Knight's Castle for like $50.
Oh, heck
You know what
yes,
I
dude.
mean?
I'm so
Because I
jealous.
sold because I think I bought it. I think it usually goes for $400. It
Yeah.
was like 25% off. I got it for 3, but I ended up getting 2 of them, and I sold mine for, I think, 250.
Oh yeah.
And then so I spent like $50 on one when it all comes down to math. But I don't
I
know.
love
I feel
it.
bad saying that story, but I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I guess I could call Lego, but then what are they gonna do? Yep, you send it back. You
Well,
know.
and that's the thing, right? Is that like I mean, part of me does look at it where I honestly I would bet money that if you did message Lego about it and stuff like that, they'd probably look at it and be like, "Yeah, just keep it. It's probably
Yeah, it's our screw
gonna
up, whatever.
cost more to ship it back." Yeah, it's like that's
Yeah.
on us. Keep it. Like
Mhm.
I bet they would have done it anyways.
Sure.
So
Thank you. I needed that
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
been like a guilty conscience for a while now. Like,
I
oh
had to get
no,
that in the universe.
because they're so nice. Like when you call the
Yeah.
customer support, they're super nice. And like even one time I had a something to do with like I didn't get my double XP. I like to call it XP VIP points.
Yeah.
And so I call them like, hey, just making sure like this is still coming through. And they're like, oh, you know what? We'll give you an extra like I don't know, 500 points or something for I was like, "Oh, thanks,"
Yeah, that's
for your
awesome.
for the inconvenience. We'll round it up to whatever number. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're really awesome.
Oh,
Um,
that's way slick.
Nick says Brick's a scammer. I swear I'm not. Oh man. Um, let's see. I don't know if you want to answer this, but what is your Lego focus or goal? Whether it's like for your collection room, for the future of your collection, social media, which we kind of already talked about. Maybe you can talk more about like what's your goal on Instagram. Anything to do with Lego. You're gonna get different shelves.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, I do want for sure someday. My wife and I, we've already talked about how we're like, yeah, like our future house, it's gonna have a Lego room, specifically for the Legos and everything like that. For the, yeah, I've got a couple of goals with the Instagram and it's just Lego in general. We'll see how things pan out. Um, One of them I'm not exactly wanting to say 100% yet because it's something that I'm hoping to kind of, I don't know, call me paranoid, but I don't want to really put this idea out yet just because I'm like, I haven't seen anyone else do it yet on social media, so I don't want anyone necessarily to like take my
Yeah.
idea yet that has more followers than me and can do it.
Yeah.
And so like I've got a couple of goals that way with it and such, but otherwise I'm really just here to build my own collection and like make posts about it and just have fun with it. Build a fun little
Yeah.
fan base, get into the community and just literally just have fun with it. I'm not it's I think a big part of it is that I'm just like I'm going to be spending the money anyways, so
Yep.
let's have fun. I think that's another thing too is a lot I've gotten into a lot of little like I don't know what I'd call them, but just like thinking moments where you just think like, what's the point? Like when you're playing a video game or when you're collecting something or something like that, and you just kind of look at it and you're just like, what's the point in collecting all of this stuff or getting this far in this video game, playing
Right.
Pokemon, catching all of the Pokemon, collecting all these shiny stuff like that? What's the point in doing that if no one ever sees it? I hate to say that, like, not that I want to show it off, but like what's the point if no one ever sees
Right.
it? And so part of me is like, well, like let's just share this with everybody else. Let's make it fun and
Yep.
just have a good time with it. So make some
Yes.
friends.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about too. That's I was kind of talking to you about that before the stream. Like it's just fun to get to know. That's why I do this, the Life Lego
Yeah,
Built, because it's fun to I don't always know the people I have on. Like you and I follow each other, but I don't talk to you much, and I'm
yeah,
sure we'll talk to each other more now, but it's kind of a good icebreaker. Just come on the show. Well, it's smooth and maybe I'll send like a link how the show went before with somebody else, but um
yeah,
yeah, man, it's a lot of fun to get to know people and have fun with it. But you talked about something at the beginning of the show that you did some like video game streaming.
yeah.
What games were they? Were they Pokemon or
So Pokemon, actually, my wife and I just recently got into those. Those were another thing that she and I both just grew up with, and so
yeah,
we've just been binging on those hard lately. When I did stream, I used to do a lot of Minecraft. I would do a lot of Halo Infinite. I got really into that one for a minute. Um, and for a second, actually, I was getting ready to stream the Lego Fortnite stuff, and I would actually include that in the page and everything too. Um, I I would I think that I really wanted to do the Minecraft streaming the most. I love Minecraft. I'm not afraid
yeah,
to say it. Friggin'
yeah, man,
awesome,
it's
fun,
cool.
fun, dumb game.
Yeah,
Um, but it just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to for sure. The hard part is too that I feel like streaming is more fun when you've got other people to play with you and you can just be dumb with them.
for sure.
But it's hard getting the schedules to align to make it so
Yeah,
that you can stream with each other like that. That's at least the most fun I have.
Yeah, I
And
could
I feel
never
like
figure out streaming. Like, I've always been a gamer, especially, growing up, but even to this day, like I still game a little bit.
yeah,
For a while I was really into Fortnite. I think back in a couple years ago, 2020, 2021, I really
yeah.
got into Fortnite, but I always hated Fortnite when it was building. I was like, I grew up with Halo and Gears of War and Call of Duty. Like, I don't want to build and, all this stuff. Like, I want to, jump around, collect stuff and shoot and whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I found out there was like a no build mode, I was like, "What?"
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
So
Wow.
so I started playing that so much and and then but I've stopped recently. But yeah, I mean, you grow up with Halo and you're like, this is what's cool now? Like Halo used to be so like the graphics are better, the game is better. And so now this is what the generation likes. I don't know. But then I figured it out. I was like, okay, it's cool. It's cool. So I was
It's
wrong.
about the Halo thing. Sorry, just a random little tangent. It's just really funny when my buddy and I he's the guy that I usually game with, and we'll talk about games, especially Halos that we like and stuff like that. We're like, oh yeah, these are fun little Halo games. He and I, we both really do like Halo Infinite. It is a fun game. We usually just play
Yeah.
the multiplayer. I've never played the campaign, but he and I, it'll always revert back to Reach, and we'll be like, Reach though, hands down, the best Halo game
Yeah.
that was ever out
Dude,
there. Awesome game.
I really liked Reach and I liked 3. 3 was a lot of fun too.
Three was a
But
great game. Three and
yeah,
Reach, top
yeah,
tier.
those were good. We got How You Figure in the house. We are almost done. I got one more question for Tucker, but man, thanks for stopping by. Means a lot. Brick, what is up? What is up to you? Just getting done with the stream here, getting to know Tucker's Bricks a little bit. If you want, go ahead and go start back from the beginning if you like
Yeah.
Lego stuff. But one last question. You are turned into a minifigure. What are you wearing, and what is one accessory you come with?
Shoot. Um.
And are you in the AT-AT?
Yeah. Oh, have to be. Yeah. That's the
Right.
accessory I come with is the ATA. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I feel like, shucks, because there's so many things like little niches that I'm into. I'm really into Lego. I'm really into video games. So like, could I be holding a controller? I'm really into
That'd be
cars
cool.
too. So I could also see myself having the wrench to hold on to. Um. What would I be wearing? So I would say one of those two things, probably like either a video game controller or a wrench. Um, I think if, oh, what would I be wearing? Because if you look at my Instagram, I've got a lot of hoodies on. I do wear hoodies a lot more than anything nowadays. Holy crap.
I love hoodies,
I've,
man. Hoodie weather's the
yeah,
best.
I've gotten
Yep.
lazier and lazier the older I get. Who cares? Especially now that I'm married. I don't need to
Oh
look good
yeah, man. You
anymore,
don't have to
right?
worry about anything. You got the one, you're good. Yes.
Um, I think, yeah, I think if I were to, it would probably be a hoodie. Yeah, it would be that it would just be a nice simple minifigure, just me wearing a hoodie, uh, wearing just, I guess, like just some gray leg piece, just because probably sweats. I'm wearing sweats right now. Again, I wear sweats probably more than anything too. So I'd be wearing gray leg piece, probably just a normal hoodie piece for the torso. I'd probably come with, yeah, either a wrench or a game controller. I'd probably say one of those two. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'd have to
No,
go with.
awesome, man. Awesome. It's a tough questions, right? But
Yeah.
real quick, kind of off the record, do you buy only Star Wars or are you kind of into anything else like Harry Potter, Lego Ideas, Marvel, DC stuff, what have you?
I
Jurassic Park.
I bu I buy a little bit of not everything. I buy what I think is cool. I guess that's the easiest
Yeah.
way for me to put it. I've got like the loop coaster, the haunted house. I've got a lot of
Ooh,
the
the haunted
speed
house. I want
champion
that.
sets. It's a fun set. It's fun.
I want that.
Um, I've got a lot of the space theme sets. Like I've got the Saturn V rocket. I've got the Apollo. Not the Apollo. I've got the lunar lander. I've got the
Lunar,
space
yep.
station. I've got just a bunch of random stuff like that. Yes, 90% of it is Star Wars. 99% is Star Wars. But otherwise, I just buy stuff that I think is fun. I think is cool. personally, I'm not a huge Lego Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter fan. I'm not a Brickheads fan. If anyone else likes them, more power to you. I've heard
Sure.
people hate on Star Wars because everything is gray, and I totally agree. Everything is gray. But like that's what I like. And if you like Harry Potter, if you like Marvel, if you like superheroes, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
awesome. I love that you like that. You do
Yep.
you. Just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean it's bad. Have fun with it.
Yep.
Who knows, maybe someday I'll get into some other themes and really start hammering down on collecting those. There's a lot of older themes that I collected. Like I had a couple of Mars mission sets, Power Miners, OP. Um,
It's cool.
I remember one thing I loved was that I had all the Aqua Raider sets. Those are really older ones, but I had all of those that ever came out, and I was so proud of that. I don't know,
Man,
just a lot of random stuff like that, but
you've
just
been
fun little
around, man.
things. I've been around too long. It's a lot of money.
Real quick, we got Cylon in the house. We're about to end it here, Cylon. Thanks for coming in, though. Again, if you want to go back and watch the replay, please feel free. But thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Hello, hello. But yeah, man, that's about it. I appreciate you answering all these crazy, fun little
Yeah.
questions. And joining the live stream today so we can get to know who you are a little bit and get to know your Lego journey. So I highly appreciate you saying yes to coming on the show. Maybe we can have you on again one of these days. Maybe I can get you, Professor Brickman, and some of the other people that I've had on the show and just do a big collab and build while we talk or
Oh,
something,
that'd
and
be awesome.
kind of get me comfortable to build while we talk so that you guys can talk and I'll just be like, building.
Yeah. You don't have to
Because
feel
my
like a host
mind,
at least.
right. And we could
Yeah.
just kind of free talk. That'd be a lot of fun. So but yeah, man, thanks for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to plug? Anything you'd like to say about your
Um,
Instagram, anything like that, where we can find you?
I mean, yeah, I have to make the plug. Follow me guys on Tucker's Bricks. I've been in a little bit of a slump lately. I haven't posted in a while. I'm gonna get back up on it though soon. I've got a bunch of posts in mind and such. Seriously guys, I love just putting out dumb stuff that I think is just hilarious even if everyone else thinks it's the stupidest thing in the world. It's fun. Go give me a follow. Thank you, Brick, for bringing me on here. This is awesome. Honestly, this is my first time as a guest as one of these things, and this is so fun. I had so much fun with this. If you are ever looking for anybody just to fill a slot, dude, I'm always open. It's
For
awesome.
sure. For sure. I want to do more Instagram stuff too, like do some
Yeah.
lives, and because I see people on there a lot, and that seems fun too, because it's free flow. So it's
Yeah.
awesome. But thanks again, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for
so
having
good.
me, man. It was a
Yeah,
good day.
for sure, man. Thanks to the chat for stopping by as well. I see you, Zio. So thank you for stopping in as well. Everybody, you know the drill. This has been the Life Lego Built, and you know the whole slogan: keep bricking.